this is my final project, my music store class, percussion class, instrument class. I also made a small web finder that I might add to later. It's kind of keyed in towards this assignment, but it didn't have to be. I don't know why spell checkers open. And then the picture class, well, because I use negate image, but that's from before. But I put the method for the drawstring into my picture class since I already had a drawstring anyway. This one just includes the font option. So in my instrument class, I have display name on image, which is the method you wanted, but really all it does is front for the picture method. It just makes more sense that way to me. In either case, we'll jump into this. I couldn't get rid of this icon as much as I tried. Different J option pane settings, whatever, it's always there. And I basically got frustrated and gave up. So we'll just enter a new object, or our object name. This is for the no argument constructor, so we're using set methods. Symbol, we'll add a cost of what, $12.95, and then we'll do a timpani. We'll spell it right too, not that it matters, I guess. And we'll enter a cost of $7.89. So this menu is in a do while loop. Unless they actually press 6 and enter, it's not going to go away, and it's based on characters, not numbers. So you could have something just, you know, crazy in there, and it doesn't care until they actually hit 6. But we'll go into our first one, which is select an instrument. This is in another do while loop too once we get in. If we type something that's not in there, let's say trumpet, there's not a trumpet in the store, and it kicks you back out to the main menu. If we put in symbol, all lowercase, it's going to work. Or we do symbol, all uppercase, it'll work. It doesn't matter what, it just brings it up. And we'll get the symbol menu, so we can look at our image here. And we can compare the price to ekroth.com. In which case our price is cheaper than theirs by about $30, which is pretty nice. And we can exit. If we pick a different one, like a whistle. I think I got in there. So there's our image of a whistle, our sound, and oh, I meant to accidentally exited. Compare price. Ekroth's price is cheaper by $5 than ours, so little different setup than what you had, but it still gets the point across. So get out of that. Display inventory. This is a big screen with a lot of information. As you can see, these percussion objects like bells, it has the parent class cost, image, sound, name associated with it, but then it also grabs the two percussion fields, the drum type and is pitched Boolean. Same for bongos, and if it is just a straight instrument class object, it'll just do the name, cost, image, and sound. It's real straightforward. Listening to the inventory works. It gets a little obnoxious when you're testing. I had to comment it out. So I think that was the easiest piece of code in the entire thing, because that blocking play was nice. It was just real simple. Display total inventory value. Checks out every time I've checked it. I didn't this time because I didn't think you'd want to sit there and wait for me to plug it all into a calculator. But yeah, it just adds up the values. Has to, yeah, it's nothing big. And then display labeled images. This one's a bit odd because this whistle and this symbol won't display the image until I redraw the box, the frame, just even by extending it 2 pixels, and it'll show up. I don't know how to overcome that because I couldn't figure out how to close images in between these different sections of the program, but that's maybe something for next year. So display the labels, and I have the program set up on a 15-second delay, which gives me enough time to sort of spread things out. You can see I got 3 different colors, 3 different fonts, and if I redraw my symbols, that'll show up, and if I redraw my whistle, that'll show up. And I'll come back to these in a minute. We'll exit and it'll go on to the other methods. So this is the update object to cost. It goes from roughly $1,000 down to 0, gets caught by logic, and it bumps it back up to $299. This is the negate image cost. Again, I have it on a 10-second delay just so I could do that. It's probably a little bit longer than it needed to be. And then this is the modify object one name method. Changed it from lowercase bongos to uppercase using to upper. And this is the final method. It's the copy display subclass. So I created a new percussion object. I copied the bells percussion object into it, and then I did the toString on the percussion object, and I got just these just the field values for the percussion object. I'll close these two. So when I did these images, you can see I've got like a short serif and a tall plane, and I think this one is Arial. I don't remember which is or which. Italicized, bold, and plain, and then 3 different colors. But I had it all set up so that I had 3 different fonts, 3 colors, randomized. So a couple of times I had all blue, and a lot of times I had a color missing. We almost missed out on blue here. But all in all, a pretty simple program. The most frustrating part out of everything was I wanted to make it so that the graphics didn't show up on the image every time it got called. And I thought I could dispose of the graphics in my drawstring method after they had been returned, right? So it would display the image and then dispose of those graphics. So the next time you called just the image, not the drawstring method, they wouldn't be there, but that's not the case. So even every time I call the negate method for an image, the graphics will show up, and that's driving me nuts. I tried saving it in a temp picture object before sending it to the drawstring. Didn't help. I don't even know where to begin on that, but in the future I'd love an answer on how you keep graphics from being tied to your image like this, because it's really kind of nutty. But yeah, great semester. Hope my program meets your approval, and have a great Christmas break.